Hey everyone, welcome back to the Optimization Toolbox. My name is Jenna Redfield. Today I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Brenda from Mindful Styling. She is the person that I've told you guys about who did my color analysis. And I wanted to have her on so we can talk more in depth about it. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jenna. So excited to be here and share a little bit of what I do. And thanks so much for having
Yeah.
this platform for me. Honestly, super excited and grateful to you.
Yeah, so I think we met at it was like a wellness event, and I had
We
already been
did.
following you, and I was like when I saw you there, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to her because I want to do a color analysis. And then we ended up doing a video together, which was really fun, and it's on my
Was.
YouTube channel, and I it's still there. I'll embed it in this episode so you can find that link to watch the whole process. But it was really fun to do that, and it completely changed my life. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, my color analysis changed my
Mm.
life because it's like I didn't know how to dress. And actually, I've spent so much money this year on clothes. I don't want to say. But I also find that thrifting has been really fun for me too.
Oh,
I've
yes. Yeah,
rediscovered
yeah,
a love
yeah.
of thrifting because you can get a lot of clothes for a lot cheaper, and then you can kind of change
Wait.
them out. You don't have to keep them forever because they're already secondhand, and so you wear them. And
Hmm.
people are like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Goodwill or unique thrift store." Like you can't find it
Yes.
anywhere, so it's kind of a unique way to do
Right.
things.
That's amazing that you're embracing that. And the thrifting, it just makes it so much easier. It's super simplified. And yeah, I love that. So thanks for
Yeah.
sharing that with me.
It's been really fun. And I obviously it's not just the clothes, but it's also makeup and
Oh,
jewelry
yes.
and like all that. So can you kind of explain a little bit of what you do as a
Yeah.
stylist and then we can kind of move into kind of the color, which I think is my favorite part of the one I think
Yes,
most people
mine
are
too.
like,
It is so
yeah.
exciting. Well, hello, my name is Brenda Iris, and I'm the founder of Mindful Styling. So I'm a holistic and personal brand consult, and I work mainly with women, especially entrepreneurs and leaders, to align their energy and their presence and purpose just with their style and their image. I feel like as women, we may struggle a lot with that. So I'm here to help. I do specialize in color analysis and, of course, intentional stylings, intentional styling as tools for confidence and self-expression, and just to show up and elevate more of who you are, that beautiful person that you know that you are. So like, let's get colors, cuts, fabrics that just enhance that and make you feel beautiful.
Yes.
So that's a little bit of what I do. And again, my approach is very intentional and holistic. It's never cookie cutter. It's never like following trends, only if
Mm,
it's for you. And so it's all about just finding you the right fit, the right colors, and just that expresses that woman you want to be or you want to become or who you are. So that's a little bit of what I do.
yes. And you are local, but you do online as well, correct?
I
Or
am local, yes, to Minneapolis.
Mhm.
I love it here. And yes, I do virtual styling or color analysis as well. Absolutely.
Awesome. So, okay, I like don't even know where to start. There's so many directions. So, we were just talking about before we started is what is the power of like feeling your best? Because I feel like that's been the biggest thing for me is like confidence, is like
Yeah.
knowing that I'm wearing the right things. For a long time, I didn't know what looked good on me. And I think that's been probably
Hmm.
the biggest thing is like kind of eliminating all the choice overload. Because I feel like when you go to a
Yeah.
store, you're like, there's hundreds and hundreds of items. Which one do you pick? Can you kind of talk about how actually limiting down to the color can actually help improve your confidence and just make you feel better?
Yes, of course. So first of all, let's address the black thing. So many people wear black.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, many women wear it to hide certain parts of their
Mm-hmm.
bodies. And so I believe, and it's shown that when you dress to hide, it's a very different energy than when you dress to
Yes.
highlight. And a lot of them, yes, do it because they don't know what other colors to wear to enhance their eyes, their hair, their facial
Mm-hmm.
features, just so many beautiful things about our bodies too. So we rely on black to hide
Mm-hmm.
those things, or otherwise just society is like black looks amazing on everyone and
Mm-hmm.
hides. I'm all about showing who you are instead of hiding who you are, who because that's how you bring light into people's life when you are more of you. Like I've seen you, like you're always amazing. I followed you as well.
Yeah.
But now that you're wearing your colors, I see so much empowerment, so
Yes.
much confidence. And that's exactly what color analysis actually brought into my life. I'd be very neutral. Um, I was just thinking like
Mm.
neutral, just because society thinks
Yes.
that's what looks polished and all
Mm-hmm.
of this. And so I was really afraid to wear colors again, just because they're very bright or very I don't know, it's just too much attention. But I recognize that overall I was just trying to hide who I was.
Mhm.
And yeah, I didn't know the colors that helped me look better. And so I'm wearing one of my colors right now.
Mhm.
I would have never worn this before color
I love
analysis,
that
to be
color. I
honest.
love that color.
Thank
It's
you.
hard to find
Thank
purple,
you.
I have found. I don't
It
know if you've
is.
like
It
I've
is.
looked and I'm like I love purple. I have not been able to find very many shirts for sale at all anywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes online, I'm just getting lucky or just being patient.
Mhm.
Just be patient that when you find the right color, it is for you because it's going to be so rewarding and it totally makes a difference on your wardrobe. But yeah, definitely those colors because accentuate your features, make you
Mhm.
look more glowy,
Mhm.
just honestly happier too, especially if you have those brighter colors. Because let's face it, like, yeah, black is a little more moody, a little more kind of
Mhm.
like, I don't know, what's the word that I'm
Mysterious,
looking?
mysterious.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. It can definitely be polished, but I always tell women if you're gonna wear black, wear it because it makes you feel amazing. Even if it's
Mm.
not your color, it's okay. The color needs to give you a certain
Mm.
energy, and
Mhm.
it should be, I look freaking amazing in this. And if it does, wear it. Like go for
Yeah.
it. Because that's what I want you do, not just to
Yeah.
hide.
And I
Or because
think
it's easy.
yeah, I think like one of the things that I now notice is like oh they always say like blondes look good in black. I actually don't think so most of the time. Most of the time they
Yes,
don't, you know?
they don't. Unfortunately, black is not unfortunately, but black
Yeah.
is a very high contrast color.
Hmm.
It's very bold, and blondes usually don't have that high contrast. They're usually
Yeah.
low to medium contrast, so they do get a little washed
Yep.
by black unless they up their makeup by a lot.
Yeah.
And
And
you can
yeah.
also add like your tone of like either gold or silver to kind of help it a little bit. But
Yes.
again, you have to add that. Otherwise, you'll completely get lost.
Yeah. Okay, so let's kind of move into color analysis because we're starting to talk
Mhm.
about it. Like, what is it? Like, people are like, "What is that?" Or like, they've heard of the season. Can you kind of explain the process from
Yes.
like start to
Yes.
finish and kind of what it is?
Uh, of course. So there is four different seasons. You got spring, you got autumn, you got summer, you got winter. I don't think I set them in. And like the way they
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So there's four seasons, and there is three palettes within each season. So there's a total of 12 palettes. Each one has its flow. It just varies on one, your undertone, which can be cool, warm, or you can be actually more neutral. That's what I more neutral. And it matters when you actually get foundation,
Mm-hmm.
um, depending on the undertone. And then the value, if you're light in value or dark, and also your chroma, if you're softer. So that means if your features are more softer or if they're very, very high contrast. For example, one person that I can think of that is very high contrast would be like Megan Fox. She's very fair, dark hair, and bright blue eyes. So there's a lot of contrast in that too. Um, the lower contrast could be someone like perhaps Meghan Markle or Rihanna. So there's not a lot like, so they need to wear softer colors in order to kind of balance who they are and not be overpowered by the color.
Yeah. And I think so you go in and I think the biggest thing that people don't realize is like it's not just one color, it's like a lot of colors and it's a whole palette and it's
Yes.
every color of the rainbow. They're like, "Oh, you get to wear all the colors." And I'm like, "Except for black maybe." But
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it's not just like you only wear like blue. And I'm like, "No, it's
Oh, no,
you
no,
know."
no, no.
So I think that's
No.
the thing that they're like I don't get how that works, but I think for you it's seeing how it reflects onto their face too. That was like a big part
Yes.
of it.
So if we start with the natural makeup or
Mm-hmm.
no makeup at
Yep.
all, that's really it helps me assess the skin tone really well and see what the color does to your face. For example, sometimes I place a flag on you,
Mm-hmm.
the undertone, and your face automatically turns like sallow or a little yellow
Mm-hmm.
jaundice. But sometimes it gives you a shadow, like
Mm-hmm.
it's pushing too much blue into your skin, and so you look tired.
Mm-hmm.
Your jawline looks a little heavier, and just yeah, it can also pick up more red. So if you have red
Mm-hmm.
pigmentation, it can enhance that redness as well as other
Mhm.
colors can tone them down, especially for
Yeah.
people with rosacea.
Mm,
Like it can really make a difference. And a lot of those people actually think they can't wear red.
mm,
I'm like, yes, you can wear red. It just all depends on the undertone of the red.
yes. Because
Yes.
I used to wear red as a kid. I just did a post on this because I was like, I
Oh,
used to wear it, but then I like stopped because like, yeah, I was afraid to, or like society, like that wasn't a thing. But now that's become my signature color
I
because
love it.
yeah, it's my last name too, Redfield. So I was like, I wanted to
Oh,
have like the like subconscious effect of like
yes.
Redfield, like Jenna wears red. Like I want that to kind of
Oh,
like be part of it. So like every time I go to a networking event now, I have so many red shirts now. Like that's like become my main, like every time I go shopping,
oh
I
my
always buy a red
gosh.
shirt. And it's like that has been like my thing now. And so people kind of just like affiliate me with red. And so, but it's the right shade too.
Redfield.
It's not like too dark. It's not too, cool. Like it's the right
Right.
shade because now I
Yeah.
know that it looks good on me and I get a lot more compliments. Like I had never really gotten complimented on my fashion until I started doing my color. I'm not kidding. Like I also didn't really care that much. I was really
Yeah.
like if you look back at my fashion choices, I did not know what I was doing. And now that I really think about it, I make a lot better like shopping decisions as well.
Oh, I love that, Jenna. And I just feel like your palette is so beautiful and it's just your palette is so you, to be honest. You're
Yeah.
very like extrovert, you're very
Mhm.
friendly, very warm, very welcoming
Yeah.
too. So I feel like your warm spring palette, it's a true representation of your personality. And
Yeah.
I yeah, I've seen photos of you like very muted tones,
Yeah.
blacks. So it's very like smoky colors
Mhm.
and you're like energy. You're like
Yeah.
very energized. So I feel like
I'm a
that fits
Leo
you.
too. I'm a Leo.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
like
There you
so
go. So
that's why I
yeah,
was like
Leos want to shine. So you
yeah.
need those colors to elevate more of that of what you are. And you're totally doing it
Yeah.
now. Like I can see it.
I like literally my whole wardrobe has gone to even like the pants I wear, like I wear browns now. And like the biggest shift, another one that we haven't talked about is like makeup is like I wear brown, eyeliner instead of black. So because I look
Yeah.
back and I'm like, it was made my eyes look so like dark and like,
It almost
not
looks like a sticker instead of
like a
you
raccoon is
know,
what I called it. Like, it was just like
yeah.
looked like my eyes were just like sticking out of my head. But it's like you're right. Like I always struggled with makeup because and with the foundations now I always look for a warmer tone versus like a cool
Yes.
tone. And so that's been
Yes.
and then the number one thing also lipstick. I mean, this is a lipstick
Oh,
that I have look at I mean, this is like so
yeah.
it's like perfect. This one is coral berry from
Oh, I
Revlon.
love that. Yeah, your red is definitely a lot more coral than you would say a
Yes.
berry red.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
And so coral, and
absolutely.
it's something that like, and right now, another thing that you taught me is to shop in your season. So like right now it's spring, so I've been buying a lot more clothes because there's a lot more available in my season's
Yes.
palette. But another thing you also told me that I thought was very interesting is that in like the Midwest, they don't have as many color options as they do on the coast. And so can you
No.
explain that? Because I thought about that a lot and I look for that now.
Yeah, definitely. So I was a stylist at Nordstrom, so I've noticed one thing that and I love to travel to other places to look at their fashion. Like I go to Miami, Chicago, Los Angeles. I haven't been to Texas, but and I see a lot of color and like a lot of fun clothes. And then I come back to uh, where we live, and being that I work at nursery, I'm like, why aren't we getting the stuff that other stores have? And it just so happens that I think stores have buyers for each region, and our Midwest buyers doesn't really see, probably in my opinion, my personal opinion, doesn't see Minneapolis as the big city I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people that are here, like we have a lot of professionals, a lot of artists, a lot of creatives, a lot of corporations, a lot of Fortune 500 companies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that they see that. So they don't buy for people like that. They just think, I don't know, we stay home and
Mm.
and just do like maybe cute little brunches here and there. I don't know, but yeah, it's one thing that I kind of like wish they gave us more, so we can have a lot more options. That's why I shop online so much
Mm-hmm.
as well. It's just, yeah, they give us a little bit like Mall of America, like yes, but
Mm-hmm.
it is very casual here, and they don't give us like a lot of color.
Yeah, and I feel like it's interesting. I feel like I went to an event a couple weeks ago where everyone dressed up and it was like one of the first events I'd ever been to where there was like
Hmm.
actual people like putting work into their outfits. Because usually when I go
Yeah,
to networking events, it's usually really chill and casual, or even just going to the grocery store. It's like most people are in sweatshirts and like sweats. It's like sweats have become a huge part of our culture. But what I found is that when I feel like I'm dressed up, I feel more confident. So it's like, I think that
I love.
people don't put two and two together, that like kind of putting some effort into the way they look. Like people put so
Yeah.
much effort into the, like how much weight they have and like all that stuff, but it's like,
Yes.
but honestly, I like feel like I look thinner because I look back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not always
Yes.
about that. It's about the way that like the clothing lays on you and
Oh
reflects.
my God.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And it's very, and see, that's one of the things I do like the fabrics. What fabrics should you
Mm-hmm.
wear? Should you wear more like flowy fabrics? Like for
Mm-hmm.
you, I said more flowy instead of
Yep.
like bulkiness. Some people can
Mm-hmm.
carry that bulky, but you being that you're curvy,
Yep.
you just flowy fabrics that just kind of like grace your
Yeah.
curves look so much more
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
Yep.
And they look absolutely stunning. People are not going to be looking at your weight. I know we do feel self-conscious about that, but
Yeah.
trust me, people are not worried about your weight,
Yeah.
especially when they just see like if you're wearing colors
Mm-hmm.
and great fit. People are like, oh my gosh, she looks like amazing.
Yeah. And also it's something you can control more. That's the other thing too, is I've had so many skin issues that I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to control them, but I'm
Yeah,
still, it's still not there. But I'm like, the one thing I can control is what I wear, and
it's
it's,
true.
and I
Oh, I
think
love that you said that. Thank you.
yeah,
Yes,
because,
absolutely.
and like my hair, I just got bangs like 2 weeks
Yes, I
ago.
saw that.
And it's
Cute. I
like,
love
but it's
it.
like I had never even thought about that but now I'm like, oh, I think that, and then I asked my stylist, I was like, she's like, I think you could pull it off. Like, not everyone can pull off bangs. And I had them when I was little, but I'm still trying to learn how to style them. But it's like, I think for me, like I also went way too blonde the last time I went blonde, which was 2 years ago. I went like a coal
Okay.
blonde, and I look at
Oh,
photos and
yeah.
it looks terrible. I look like I'm washed out. So I even told my hairstylist, I'm like, I'm a warm spring. I would like to have more golden and like warm
Yes,
colors in my
yes.
hair, because otherwise I look too washed out with the
Yeah,
blonde. Can you kind of
yeah.
talk about how all of that is integrated in? So you've got the hair, you've got the makeup, you've got
Oh,
the
yeah.
jewelry as well, the colors. Can you kind of
Yes, the
talk about how it's not
jewelry.
just a fashion?
Yeah, no, hair is very important. Thanks for bringing that up. A lot of times, people show up to their appointment and we talk about hair, and sometimes I'm like, straight, I mean, because that's what you're coming to me for, right?
Yep,
I want
yep,
to
yep.
be
Yeah.
completely honest, give you my opinion. I'm not just personal, but like professional opinion. And yeah, a lot of people do have the wrong blonde mainly. Or one time I did have a client that she was blue hair. I'm sorry, not, yeah, she did have kind of dark hair. I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
very dark, dark hair, but she has blue eyes and very fair skin. And her hair, I believe, naturally was kind of like a brown or even
Mm.
blonde. So that was very harsh on her.
Mm.
So after our appointment, I've heard that she went back and she changed her color, and she feels so much like just more like her. So
Mm-hmm.
that was really great to hear. Again, sometimes blondes can be very different. You got your warm honey gold
Mm-hmm.
blondes, but then you have your platinum ones too, which those are more like cool tones. So
Yep.
definitely if you're warm and you have more of a cool blonde, it's definitely going to wash you out. And sometimes you think it's your skin. Sometimes you think it's just like, oh, it looks just so tired and my skin is not cooperating. And
Mm-hmm.
I have sometimes, as we age, we get to have wrinkles, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like sometimes the wrong colors can accentuate those wrinkles. Like
Yes.
honestly, the other day we were with my assistant doing a group color analysis, and the girl, like, we removed one of the drapes, and she literally had like an instant facelift. Like
Mm.
her
Wow.
face just lifted. As with the other flag, it looked a little lower and it's just more
Mm-hmm.
shadowy. So definitely hair, makeup, clothes, jewelry is very important too. We're
Mm-hmm.
just talking about, just what we want to bring is harmony into
Mm.
your
Mm-hmm.
into your personality. It's like, if it's whether it's with bright color or softer colors like yours, or warm color. So I just see
Mm-hmm.
that there's so much more harmony, especially with your hair now.
Yep.
It's just this beautiful, beautiful flow
Mm-hmm.
that you have, that I can't even tell your skin issues. I know you're having them. You
Yeah.
posted those, and
Yeah.
it's a bummer, of course, but I
Yeah.
love that you're controlling what
Yeah.
you can
And I'm
control.
finding outfits that can cover it too. So it's like, that's the other thing,
Mhm.
is like I'm finding outfits and shapes that I don't. One of the things now I'm looking for is like, could I wear this? and not feel uncomfortable, or like have to put a jacket on, or like how do I layer this, or how do I think more about like the pants as well, as like what pants does this go with, and is this too dressy, so it's like all about figuring out the vibe of the outfit. And like
Oh, yes,
that's
the
been more,
story.
yeah, it's like I've been actually working more on that, because I'm like, okay, like I don't wear jeans as much, so I'm wearing a lot more dress pants, but I'm like, are they too dressy, are they too, so it's like, does this clash? So I'm still trying to figure out like how colors go together. But when you have a palette, it's nice because they can kind of work with each other because they're in the same palette,
Oh,
versus
yes.
just like
Yeah.
you have two outfits that like they would never ever ever go together in terms of
Right.
colors.
So that's one thing. Yeah, definitely. When you have your palette, you can pretty much put any color together and they won't clash. I
Yeah.
mean, if you want to be a little bit safer to make sure that it doesn't feel like it won't, but if you want to tone it down a little bit, you can always add one of your neutrals, which you have very beautiful neutrals.
Yep.
But yeah, your color palette, just because they have all the same characteristics,
Mm-hmm.
undertone, value, chroma, they won't clash whatsoever. It is very different. So, say if you wear like a red from a winter, which is very
Mm-hmm.
deep in blue, like a raspberry red, but then
Mm-hmm.
you pair it with a blue from spring, which is a lighter, warmer
Mm-hmm.
aqua blue, there's like a clash there.
Yeah.
But say you pair the red with a cobalt blue, which is
Mm-hmm.
within the winter season, same characteristics, same everything. You're almost like color blocking, and it looks, even though it's color
Mm-hmm.
blocking, it looks like it's not harsh to the eye
Mm-hmm.
because again the characteristics are the same.
Yeah, and I feel like there's just a lot of thinking involved, which I wasn't used to. I was just kind of throwing on whatever I had in the closet, but even now I have more better options in the closet, and I almost have
Yeah.
too many options. So now I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure out what outfits go together. And that's something else that you do, is you help people like shop their closet, right? That's another service you have?
Yeah, so we can come in into people's closets and we pretty much, we get together first for an appointment to decide what your goal is, what your colors are. We built a vision. We don't go in there just like, oh my gosh, we have a plan. We need to make sure what that is. And then we go in, help people organize their wardrobes based on the plan, what it is. And we can also do the personal shopping. So once we take things out of your closet, we see what we can integrate
Mm,
into what new pieces you need,
yes.
and then we go and shop for those and bring it into our studio, and you get to try everything on. And if you like something, you can, buy it. If you don't, we'll send it back. You're not
Hmm.
like forced to buy anything, but
Yeah.
every single piece that comes into the studio for you to try on is based on your body shape, your goals,
Hmm.
your um your colors as well, and fit. So if
Yeah,
you have any,
yeah, it's a lot more than just colors. It's the way it looks
yeah.
on you, it's the way it drapes, I've learned a lot about that this year too, because I've done my own research and just figured
Oh,
out
I love
a lot.
that. Good job.
Yeah, I've kind of gone down the Kibbe route, the
Oh,
Kibbe
yes.
system.
Yeah. What are you?
I think I'm a soft dramatic,
Soft dramatic?
because
Okay.
I learned if you're over 5'7", there's only like three options because it's really based off
Okay.
of height. And so
Yeah.
I was either a flamboyant, natural, or a dramatic or soft dramatic. And I was like, well, I'm
Yes.
curvier than a dramatic. So I realized, and I
You
actually used
are.
like ChatGPT to kind of help me. And I joined a bunch of Facebook
I
groups,
love it.
and I was just posting pictures of myself, and I was like, which one? And everyone kept saying soft dramatic. So finally I was like, all right, that's what I am. And so now
Yeah.
I buy not just for color, but also for the Kibbe, and and so what I've been doing, I know this is, I've probably taken your job away, but I take a picture of something at the store and I say, is this soft dramatic? And it will tell me yes or
Oh,
no,
no,
before I
that's
buy it.
fine.
So it's like that has helped me made better like buying decisions of like, I already
I
know
love
what I
that.
am.
You're
Yeah.
you're more intentional. No, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like my goal is for women to learn how to shop for themselves. So that you're doing that, and that, your color was a foundation,
Yeah.
stepping stone into this journey that it seems like you're enjoying
I am.
very much, which
Hmm.
is so wonderful to
Hmm.
hear. That's my goal, for women to know their bodies, know their colors, and shop for themselves, just because it's very empowering. Now, I do have, of course, clients that
Yeah.
they don't have the time, or
For
they
sure.
just don't really love to shop, and they're like, it's
Mm.
not something I want to learn. It's not for me, but I
Yeah.
do want to look great. Then I do it for them, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you love it, like, and I can help you in some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form,
And you have for
be
me.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Then I'm
Yeah.
all for that too, of course.
Yeah, because you're going to be shopping for the rest of your life. It's like you need to learn how to do something that you do eventually have to do. It's like, and that's the
Yes.
thing, is like a lot of us aren't taught how to shop. And I think that's something that
No.
you are doing, is you're helping women understand. Like I didn't even know the difference between fabrics. Like now I learned, like, okay, like what is cotton, what is nylon. Like I'm learning, like,
Yes.
which ones do I like, which ones are better for me, which, so like I'm looking at the labels now, which I had never done
Oh, I
before.
love that, Jenna.
you know
Yes.
so it's like, and
Yes.
then also, is it comfortable, is it flattering? Because like I've gotten really much better at decision making when it comes to clothes. I kind of close
Oh,
my eyes and I think, if I left this store right now without this, would I be upset? That's always my, like, question I ask.
I
Because if,
love that.
because if I'm not, then I'm like, okay, maybe then I don't need to buy it. But if I am, I'm like, okay, then that's for sure I need to get. Because if I like,
Oh, yeah.
because like there's been only one time where I've actually gone back and because I didn't buy it and then I just changed my mind. So it's like, but for the most part, it's like I usually don't regret purchases, and I'm getting more and
Good.
more picky as I shop more, because I'm like, I know exactly what I'm
Good.
looking for.
Yeah.
So I'm finding that green is another color I really like the
You
Kelly
look,
green.
yeah.
That's like another one of
Yes.
my favorites, and I've gotten a lot of dresses in that color because I feel like that
Okay.
is like, I don't know why, but I feel like there are more options of green dresses than
Oh, yeah,
probably
there
even
is.
red. So it's like I've just found a lot
Yes.
of green dresses, and blue is the one that I'm still a little tricky to figure out the
Okay.
exact shades of blue. But I found ones like similar, but it's like I like blue, but it's like I still think it's kind of a darkish color for me, and I don't know, like,
Mhm.
this color I like, and I like this fit, and I got this at
Yeah.
where did I get this? I got this at not Plato's Closet, one of those like nicer secondhand stores. The one,
Um,
it's right by my house. Clothes
Close
Mentor,
mentor?
Clothes Mentor,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I got this at Clothes,
Yeah.
so it's a used, but it's like I think it's like maybe a designer shirt or something, but it's like I got it for like $15. I was like, sweet,
There we
awesome,
go.
So it's like
That's
but because
amazing.
I've been buying so much, I'm like, I have like a budget in a sense where it's like I can't, but then I get more outfits out of my budget, so it's
Yeah.
like I can get as many things as I want, and it's even but I'm the kind of person that goes really intense on things. Like when I get into something, I just like go all in, and that's what I've done. But I
Yeah.
think a lot of people I've told about this process have gone to you. So what have you found with your clients? Like, how has it changed their lives? I know you were talking about someone whose
Yeah,
husband was
so
telling them, yeah,
it has really, yesterday I had, a client appreciation
yeah,
event and they came to me and then they're like, I've never gotten compliments. Now I do and I feel so beautiful. And then yesterday one client said that she never really gets how do you say compliments from her husband. It's not that it's just who he is, but of course they have a loving relationship. Let's make that clear. Um, but she was like, she's a light spring, and she was wearing this very bold jewel tone. She just liked loud. So when I told her you're light spring, she was like, what? And
mm,
so very different. And then so she was like, I'm gonna start doing this. And she started implementing her colors, and her husband was like, one day, wow, you look good. And she was
mm,
like, just so blown. She's like, okay, this is like, so she says that even people treat her differently
yeah,
now.
mm-hmm,
So I was telling her, it's because she has a very strong presence to begin with.
mm,
She has, yeah, a lot of presence. So her spring colors softened her up a little bit
mm,
and made her look a little more approachable because they're very
yeah,
soft colors. But she just loves the way people like treat her now. Like again, her husband giving her a compliment, which he's
mm-hmm,
never done. Guys can never really sometimes notice clothes or colors or whatever.
yeah.
So it must have been something really like
Mm-hmm.
visual that he was like, wow, you look great or you look good.
Yeah. I've
And she
gotten
was
more
just,
compliments this year than I think I've ever gotten in my
yeah,
life. Cause just, or even just like comments on social media of like, oh, I
yeah,
love that. It's just like, I think it is because I do look probably better than I did before, cause
yeah.
it looks better on me, and I'm being more bold with my choices. But one thing
Oh my,
also that you've told me that people always have questions about is, you have the same color palette for life. And I think that's another
yes,
reason why I'm investing in all these outfits, is like, I can wear these for the rest of my life.
yes. And there's tons of colors, people can find it. They're like, oh, I just feel like maybe it's limiting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not. You're still very free to wear whatever you want. Like if black is not your color and
Mm-hmm.
you love black and it makes you
Mm-hmm.
again feel amazing, you can wear black. Just wear more gold
Mm-hmm.
or silver if it's
Mm-hmm.
your color. But yeah, you get tons of colors. You know, neutrals. There's certain colors that are less in certain palettes and more in other
Mm.
palettes. Like cool palettes don't have a lot of oranges, if
Mm.
any. I think only bright winter. So there's not a lot of
Mm.
orange in those cool tones, but you get tons of oranges
Yeah,
in
I've
the
been wearing
warm
orange.
tones.
I had never worn
Yes.
orange before, and I actually really like
Okay.
it. I like kind of like a salmon orange. Yeah, it's really
Yes. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that. And then in the warm palettes, in the cool, you get black and you get bright whites, and you don't get those in the warm tones. You get more like ivories and oatmeals and
Mm-hmm.
browns.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but I don't think it's limiting. And if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like it is, it's okay to venture out of it. I just don't recommend venturing out of your undertone.
Yes, that's good to know because I think a lot of people that was something I never knew was I didn't know what my undertone was. And that was a huge aha. Like I'm a warm, I didn't even know, like I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it's
So,
very important, especially when it comes to foundation.
hmm
If you're cool and you wear warm foundation, this is one thing I found out for myself, and like I've heard from other people when I tell them, "Oh, you're warm," and but she's using cool. Like they tend
mm,
to. So let's see. If you're warm and you wear cool, your face is going to look a little more ashy. But
mm,
if you're cool and you wear warm, your face is going to probably look a little more orange after,
mm.
especially after foundation oxidizes. So that's where the orange face comes from.
Yeah.
Is probably you're wearing too much of a warm foundation.
That's so interesting. Yeah, because I feel
Yeah.
like I always thought I looked weird with like darker. Yeah, like if I wore too dark eyeshadow too, that always looks weird on me. Like a black,
Yes,
like a
that's
dark, like a
true.
blackish, or like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I look or like too dark of like brows, which is another thing I learned. I
Yeah.
was like I definitely was going way too harsh on the eyebrows. So it's like I look back at photos, I'm like, what was I doing? So I think for a lot of people, again, it's like you learn all the trends and stuff, but it has to fit you. It can't just be like everyone else is
Yes.
wearing this. Like you have to figure out if it looks good on you.
Yes, and that's the one thing that I was going to tell you when you were saying how, like, you've gone into this. Now you're going to be less susceptible to like trends.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this trend for me? Is this trend not for me? Oh, like
Yes.
I should order it because it's trend. Then you'll know if something's for you or not. Is the cat eyeliner,
Mm.
for you? Like I told
Mm-hmm.
you, you need more softness in your
Yeah.
eyes,
Mm-hmm.
browns. If you do
Yep.
smoky
Yep.
eyes, do
Yep.
browns,
Mm-hmm.
not blacks.
Yep.
It's all about softness for you and like radiance and youthfulness instead of like heaviness for
Yeah.
you.
And I think the other thing is like I learned with even the body type is like I shouldn't wear mini skirts. I should wear midi skirts. So like even things
Yeah.
like that where it's like, oh, the length of things or I need to be wearing more dusters instead of cropped. So it's like all these things that I've learned
Hmm.
about, oh, and then I look back at photos of myself and I was always liked certain things and I'm like, oh, that's
Okay.
why. Or like I looked good on me and I
Now it
couldn't
makes
pinpoint why.
sense.
I have language now and I think that's the biggest tool is the language and the be
Yes.
able to like verbalize what is happening and I
Hmm.
think are you seeing an uptick even in the last year? I feel like it's been everywhere, the color analysis and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to just offer it for when I got a styling client, but as soon as it started going viral on social media, people would reach out and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
can you just do a color analysis?" And I was like,
yeah,
"Absolutely, yes, of
yeah.
course." So now it's as a separate service, and
Mm-hmm.
then I do have like a little add-on for like an
Mm-hmm.
extra hour if you want to do like your body shape analysis,
Mm.
and that's where we go like what cuts you should wear, what
Yes,
fabrics, if you
yes,
struggle with jeans, which trust me, we've all struggled
yeah.
with jeans.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, or if, like if you have a little consider like how do I hide this or how do I accentuate
Mm.
this? Then those are the options that would be a little good add-on as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feel like we could talk for another 2 hours because I feel like I learned so much, but I know we're kind of coming up on time. Is there any other things that you want to share that we haven't gotten to that are like lessons you teach or things that you feel like would be a good takeaway?
Yeah, I just want to, it's all about empowering women, and it's like my goal is to help women just feel good in their bodies and the bodies that they're in right now. Because I know sometimes until I get this done, until I lose this, until I gain this, perhaps it's like dress for the body that you have right now. And if that comes at a later time, then that's fine. Don't, I feel like, don't keep yourself from feeling confident and beautiful until a later time. Like
Mm.
start today, whatever that is, don't be afraid to
Yes.
take up space. I know some of us women are afraid to take up space and want to
Mm,
hide. It's like, don't do that because you don't know who you're meant to shine your light on, like you, right? Like, I
yeah.
just feel like you're such a bright light for so many people.
Yes.
It's like, go out there and make a difference, even if it's just with your cool outfit
Yeah. I
or
think
colors.
yeah, I think also my biggest I would say my biggest regret is I didn't do it sooner. Because it's like it
Yeah.
would have I look back at photos, I'm like, man, I wish, for example, my brother got married in fall of 2023 and all of my outfits from the wedding were black. All of them. And I'm
Oh,
like,
really? Wow.
yeah, like I had black dresses like for like the like rehearsal dinner and stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I had done this 6 months earlier because I would have not had black dresses at my brother's like rehearsal dinner, you know? So it's like,
Yeah, no, I get it. I made the same thing. I was like, I wish I would have felt I would have worn color before, like
yeah.
instead of trying to hide.
But
But I
it's
feel like it does come at a time maybe when it
mhm,
should or
for
needed the
sure.
most, so we're ready to receive that
100%.
information. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
just I
yeah,
feel like it's funny because I look back at my wardrobe choices over my life. When I was a kid, I definitely wore more colors, and then once I
yeah.
got into high school and college, I kind of tried to follow everyone else and wear a lot of blacks and neutrals. And now it's like, oh, I want to stand out. I have my own business. I want to be like look the best I can so that people like are immediately like, she like knows what she's
Hmm.
doing. She's professional and she is
Yeah,
like put together, I guess, in a sense. That's kind of the word, put together,
yeah. Right.
So
That's
yeah.
exactly actually what happens. We have this joy and this
Hmm.
like we don't care what people think when we're children. And all
Yeah.
of a sudden, you start in your teens and you're like, society, like this is
Hmm.
beautiful and that's not beautiful, and you
Yeah.
should be wearing this and that's not in. So you try to fit in. And so we forget who we
Hmm.
are.
Yeah.
And then we wake up,
Yeah.
hopefully. Like
Yeah. It's so funny because
so
my mom did hers in her 20s as well. So she's had her color analysis for most of her adulthood.
yeah.
And so it's
What
just
is
like
she?
I believe she's a spring or summer. She's a
Okay.
like I think she's like a normal summer, the regular one. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But she did it like at like community ed back in the day, in
Oh
like
my
the 80s.
goodness.
So it was brand new
Yeah,
at the
it was
time.
very popular in the 80s. It was
Yep.
so popular, and then
It went
it
away.
just died
Yeah.
down, went away, and then it came back. But I love it today because I
Mhm.
do feel like it is a lot more inclusive.
Yes.
And so we have so much more information now. Yeah, I love that it came back,
Yeah,
honestly.
me too. And I'm glad I did it. So thank you again for
Me
coming. Thanks
too.
for helping me change my life. And I'm
Yes,
so
thank you,
eternally grateful to
Jenna.
you.
Oh, a
And I
pleasure.
just always tell people about you and I'm like, go to Brenda. How do
Oh,
we
thank
find
you.
you? I know you have like a newsletter and stuff. How do we
Yes, I
find
do
you
have a
online?
newsletter. You can also find me on Instagram. So my website is www.mindful-styling.com. And then you can sign up for the newsletter there, which is like your seven-figure style guide. So I go over fabrics, the best fabrics. I'm very holistic. I'm all about natural fabrics whenever I can, even if it's
Yeah.
secondhand, like it doesn't
Hmm.
matter. Also color and just big about self-love and affirmation. So you get a list of those too. I feel like it always needs to start with the inside
Yeah.
before you can make the change on the outside. And it's long lasting too.
Yes.
Um, and then you can follow me on Instagram at Mindful Styling
Awesome. Well, thank you so
or
much.
LinkedIn. If you
Yes.
have LinkedIn as well, you can find me
Yes.
as
Yes, and you should definitely literally like my lesson to you today is go book a appointment with Brenda. Like just do
Yes,
it.
especially May that is coming. I know Mother's Day is
Oh
coming, so
yeah, do it with
we're
your mother.
actually gonna,
Yeah.
yes, we're gonna decorate the studio really beautifully for
Nice.
moms. So I'm actually gonna send a newsletter about booking for Mother's Days
Nice.
because
Good gift.
we're gonna be offering champagne and we're
Oh,
gonna have flowers
nice.
and Happy Mother's Day balloons for photo props. So it's really exciting. I love May and all moms, or even if you're
Yeah.
a dog mom, cat mom, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Any type of mom.
go with your friends. I thought about doing it with
Yes.
like, cousins and stuff. It's just like
Yes.
anyone that I just keep telling people to go. And I think I've had a couple people do it now and it's like, oh my gosh, they're like, it's changed my life. And like I think
Yeah.
it's just the awareness. It's like you don't know what you don't know. And I just
You
really
don't.
think
Yeah.
it's just it was a game changer for me for sure. And I
Oh,
just
good. It,
really
it definitely was for me. So that's why
yeah.
I love it so
Yeah.
much. I feel like it opens like a little Pandora box. And
Yeah.
what
Oh,
it did for you
100%.
from what, like, you're like, oh my
Yes.
God, I
I can
didn't
never
know
go
this was
back.
good. Exactly. Oh, thank you
Awesome. Well,
so
yes,
much,
thanks for coming
Jenna.
on and I'll hope to see you